Check. Still hear me?
Yeah. Check, check. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Jim. Baby cakes. What's going on? We're talking to the studio. I feel so fancy. I'm talking to the studio. Ooh, the studio. That's rude, Jim. I'm not gonna relay to my partner what you just said to me, because that's not appropriate at all. Chad said it sounded like sounds muffled. God damn it! Like it's going through the laptop microphone, because it should be clear as a bell. It's stupid. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Oh, move the mic from the face. Oh, is that what you wanted? Is that better? How about that, Jim? Is that better for you, buddy? I just want to sound good for you. That's really what I want to do. Damn it. It shouldn't sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. I have no idea what's going on. Speaker headphones. No. Next. All right, let's try this. Let's turn this down a little bit. We'll turn that. Maybe that was the problem, is that it was just too loud. Jim, does that sound any better? How's that sound, buddy? I think my volume was too high. Or maybe. Hell, I don't know. Otherwise, I give up. Does that sound any better, pal? Oh, okay. There I go. Now I just sound like me, which really isn't good. Okay. Oh, you're so sweet. You sound great too, Jimmy. My buddy. My pal. Oh, no. I totally agree. Tell Chad he could take us live whenever, but just let me know when we're live. He could take us live whenever. Pleasant good afternoon and evening to everybody here on 810varsity.com. My name's Chris Camler. I am alongside Drake Watkins, and welcome to the campus of Leavenworth High School, where you will see the Leavenworth Pioneers take on the Lansing Lions. And I think we got a good one for us tonight there, Drake. Two teams that seem relatively evenly matched, except for one glaring final from last week when Leavenworth beat the tar out of Turner 83-21. But I think we're going to have a pretty good homecoming night here for the Pioneers.
You're absolutely right, Chris. Points per game, Lansing's only about right under 9 points per game, where Leavenworth's scoring 28.8 points per game. Both teams coming into this game 1-3. Should be a solid matchup here tonight.
Absolutely, as Leavenworth takes the field. They are sitting at 1-3 on the season, as is Lansing. Lansing lost their opener to Blue Valley Southwest, won their home opener against Baser Linwood, and then lost to Shawnee Mission South and DeSoto last week. They lost 34-7 last week, so it'll be interesting to see how they rebound, and then how Leavenworth adjusts to a very lopsided score. They lost their first three of the season to DeSoto, Shawnee Mission Northwest, Baser Linwood, and then obviously beat Turner tonight. And they've got their rivalry game, and there's a great crowd on hand. It is starting to feel like football season outside finally, and I think we're ready for some football. One additional stat that is pretty ridiculous from last week, Jahan Bird, who you're going to hear his name called a lot, the 5'8", 195-pound junior, only 6 touchdowns last week. That's not a bad, it's still not a bad tally for one ball game. His first touchdown was 2 minutes into the game. So, it'll be kind of interesting to see what Jahan Bird and then quarterback Robert McKinley have in store for the Lions.
Leavenworth's offense last week was insane, scoring a total of 83 points, with 76 coming in the first half. Be interesting to see if they can continue that momentum on the offensive side of the ball.
Captain's meeting at midfield, and we're just about underway. The final couple of minutes of preseason, they're going to go ahead and have the toss. And it looks like Lansing has won the toss. And they're going to go ahead and receive. Pretty crisp night tonight. It's in the 60s. 60 degrees on the dot. It'll drop probably into the lower 50s by end of game. Not much wind to speak of. It's kind of gusty a little bit. The flag over on the left side of the screen is blowing just a smidge, but shouldn't affect play too much, and it is just a perfect night for Friday Night Lights. Thanks for joining us with us on A10varsity.com. Hope to bring you a good one. And sit back, relax, and let's watch some football. We'll also be keeping tabs on scores from around the league. Obviously, the big game this week is Bishop Miege and Rockhurst. We'll keep you tabs. You don't need to tune over to that game. You can just keep watching us. We'll let you know the scores when those happen. So, pretty rowdy Lansing team. They're going to receive the ball to start the ball game. Their quarterback, Luke Schneider, and their running back, Connor McQuillan. You're going to hear their names a lot. Schneider, a junior, and McQuillan, a senior. And we are going to get the opening tip. Troy Betancourt will kick it off. And Lansing is heading out onto the field here. We are just about underway. That is Dylan McLean and Tremat Pledger back to receive. And we're awaiting the kickoff from Troy Betancourt, the freshman. Kick is away. It'll go into the end zone for an opening kick touchback, and that was where the Lansing offense will start. First-year head coach Dylan Brown. Lansing lost to Leavenworth last year to open the season, 13-6. We're eager to see how things are going to shape up tonight.
So far on the season, this Lansing offense has had 220 total yards, averaging per game, 158 through the run game, and 61 yards through the passing game.
Schneider and McQuillan in the I formation, and they've already drawn somebody off sides. We'll see if it was a false start or an offside penalty. And they're going to get 5 yards, so they're going to start with good field position, 1st and 5, without a second ticking off the clock. From the I formation, McLean. Schneider on the carry, gets a couple. And just in warm-ups, we saw quite a bit of misdirection on both sides. Both teams were working from a wing tee or kind of just a lot of misdirection plays. So we're going to keep a close eye on where that football is tonight.
Both teams running in a short shotgun, just about 4 yards behind the center.
Schneider from the shotgun. It's going to be a pitch out to the right side to McQuillan. McQuillan's going to get across the sticks, across the 30-yard line for their first first down of the night. Nothing too fancy about that one, just a little pitch out to the right. Move the chains. Subbing into the game is Malik Benson, the 6'1 sophomore wide receiver. He'll line up to the near side here. McQuillan off to Schneider's left. One to the left side, one to the right side. High snap. There's an option pitch to McQuillan. McQuillan across the 40. Drugged down at the 42-yard line.
Tackle made by number 22, Jovan Darthard, the 6'2", 168 junior.
Gain of 9 on that play, and it is 2nd and 1.
Lansing sticking with the running game here early on their first drive.
Great crowd on both sides. You got a lot of folks from Lansing came up. And they're going with that shotgun, that little I formation. Quarterback keeper, not going to get very far. Gain of maybe a yard, but that's good enough for the first down. Schneider last, so far in the year, 60 for 247. It's about an 8.8 yard average. They don't pass the ball very much. They do have one touchdown in the air. He got 59 yards rushing so far this season. Picked up two important ones right there. One wide receiver to the left side. McLean in motion. He'll get the pitch across the 45 to the 50. Across midfield. He'll be drugged down at the Leavenworth 49-yard line.
Took more than one Leavenworth defenders to bring him down that time.
This is definitely the rivalry game of the season for these two teams. Dylan Ward bringing the play in from the sidelines. Break the huddle. Ward will line up to the left side. He's the only wide receiver. Option pitch. And the ball's out.
On the play.
McQuillan with a fumble. And who's got it? Leavenworth certainly thinks they do. And Leavenworth picks up the fumble on the fumble by McQuillan.
Early mistake here for the Lions. Not what you want to do on your opening drive of the game. Now Robert McKinley will bring out his offense. We'll see if Jahan Bird can continue his success from the last game.
I mean, he only needs 7 touchdowns to beat last week. I mean, come on, let's go.
I think it's manageable.
McKinley going to pass it out to the far side.
First play of the drive and already a pass play.
Drake Allen for 7, let's say 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2. McKinley on the season, 363 yards passing, 28 of 63. From the I shotgun formation, 2-step drop. They're airing it out. They were going for him again, Drake Allen.
Dangerous pass there by McKinley.
Allen, the 5'8", 175-pound senior. He's got 1 touchdown so far in the year, 7 for 64, and I'll call it 8 for 66. As he's 1 for 2 on the day. It's going to be a handoff. That's to Bird. Bird can go. He turns the corner to the 20. 10-5 down at the 5-yard line. Jahan Bird. And it didn't take too long for us to call his name. And you can see why, as he just took that all the way. Once he turned that corner, that first step, he was gone.
Crucial third down play there. If they don't get it, drive would have stalled. But a big gain by Jahan Bird will bring him down to the 5-yard line.
Opening minutes of this one, and Jahan Bird is starting to feel it already. The fullback is Seth Drennan. Trying to cut the corner, couldn't do it. Bird on the carry. No gain on that one, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 5. They'll try it again. This drive is because of a Lansing fumble. Got the ball about midfield. Bird, single man in the backfield. Under center is McKinley. Bird on the pitch to the left side. 1 man to beat. And he was able to stall just a little bit. Gain of maybe 2. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Great play by the corner there, breaking off his block and making the tackle, forcing Bird to go out of bounds.
Yeah, he was the only thing standing between the backfield and the end zone. Substitutions. Looks like they're bringing in some bigger fullbacks.
Another big third down play here for the Pioneers.
Can certainly set the tone for the ball game. McKinley from the shotgun. Bird to his right. It's going to roll out to the right side looking for a man. And he overthrows it. It looks like it was tipped by Dylan McLean. And that'll bring up fourth down. And here comes the kicking team. Looks like Troy Betancourt and his squad, as they are unable to convert. So Betancourt and his special teams will line up and attempt about a 15-yard, well, about a 20-yard field goal. Call it 21 yards. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. And it is no good, off to the left side. So a missed opportunity early for Leavenworth after the miscue by Lansing, and we are at no score with 7:37 left to go in the first quarter.
Got to make that kick early in this game, causing a turnover by Lansing. Got to get points off those turnovers, but Leavenworth will give the ball right back to Lansing.
For whatever reason, the games I seem to get picked for, it's not going to go in the high school kickers halls of fame. As Betancourt is going to head back over and work on his short game. So we will see the second drive for Schneider and McQuillan. McQuillan, after the fumble, got to about midfield. They'll take over at the 19. Here's your wing T. There's a fumble. Fumble's on the ground. It's going to get picked up. Oh, they touched it, and it looked like McQuillan was actually able to scramble back and recover the fumble. That was a Schneider. Well, it was a keeper on the wing T, and
ball went in reverse, went about 10 yards behind him. Looked like
somebody got a helmet on the ball there, and
looks like Leavenworth is going to pick it up, run right in the end zone. But they were not able to handle it, and Lansing, luckily, is able to jump right back onto the ball.
So 2 fumbles so far, 1 recovered by the opposition. And now they're got their backs against the wall. There's a pitch over to the right side across the 10 for Dylan McLean. And they are still a mile away from the first down marker. Looks like they made it up to the 12-yard line. And that's still third down and a mile. 6:22 left to go in the first quarter. Both teams have had a shot at the ball. Schneider and McQuillan in the backfield. Schneider, one-step drop over to the far side. That was intended for Brock Brown, and just kind of went through his arms, went through his hands.
Schneider with a good find. If he can hang on to that one, he had a chance for a first down there. Would have been a big third down pickup. But instead, the punting unit for Lansing is coming out onto the field.
And that is Dylan McLean back to punt. And to receive is going to be Devin Whitworth.
Short kick.
Short kick. And Whitworth will wisely call off of it, and it's going to land at the 26-yard line. So another short field for Leavenworth, as they will have their second drive of the ball game.
Leavenworth offense so far this season has averaged 310 yards per game, 219 yards rushing the ball and 90 yards passing. See if they can make up for that last fumble. Excellent field position here for the Pioneers.
No, that's no problem.
Trying to fix some of the lights in here. Bird, shutter step to the left side and across the 20-yard line.
Tackle by number 4, Jordan Bridget on the play. Also number 16, Charlie Pleasel in on the tackle.
Second down, and we'll call it about 3. Bird looking to break one open right here. McKinley from the shotgun. Bird will get it over to the left side. Bangs into his own lead blocker and then is able to kind of push that pile down to the 6-yard line. That'll be a first down. It'll be first and goal.
Burgess will not go down on first contact. If you're going to come tackle Bird, you better be ready.
So first and goal from the 6. Power I formation under center. McKinley. Bird's going to get it. Going to drive right through the pile. Can he push it far enough? He's to the 2. Looks like he'll be pushed back from the 2. Gain of 4. So he certainly got the pile to move.
Solid stand there from the Lansing defensive line. Leavenworth still knocking on the door here, just second and goal on about 2-yard line.
Leavenworth was here before, couldn't punch it in, so let's see what they've got now. Bird, the running back. McKinley under center. Penetration into the backfield. Huge penetration by Dylan McLean.
Tackle was made before he could even hand the ball off.
Jumped the snap count and was in the backfield, was in the back pocket of Robert McKinley.
It's going to make this third and goal much more difficult.
And what a couple of goal line stands by this Lansing defense. Rolling to the right side again. Thinking about just keeping it. And he will be down at the 5. So big third down stop there. The second in a row for this Lansing defense inside the 10. And having missed the first field goal, looks like they're going to go ahead and go for it. They've got 5 yards they need to pick up. So a huge play here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Now under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Not a bad play call there. McKinley had the choice to run it or pass it. It just seemed like he hesitated a little too much. And it backfired. Lansing was able to wrap him up before he could even get to the line of scrimmage.
Seth Drennan, the fullback. Jahan Bird. Bird will get it. He's going to be stopped in the backfield and pushed back, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. The second straight turnover on downs.
Number 63, Sean McAlexander, in on the tackle. The 5'10", 295-pound senior. But it's twice now the Pioneers have been knocking on the door and have not been able to get in the end zone for 6.
2:30 left to go in the first quarter. No score. Lansing has made a couple of costly penalties, but Leavenworth has not been able to cash them in. Schneider and McQuillan back in the backfield. They've got a long way to go, 90 yards, sitting at the 10-yard line. High snap. Keeper by Schneider. He's going to fall forward to the 17-yard line. Gain of about 5. Nice little start to the drive. A lot of misdirection by Lansing. They're running that wing T.
Schneider's showing so far that he can also rush the ball. McQuillan is not the only one that will be running the ball for the Lions here today.
So they're going to go to an I formation. One wide receiver to the left side. They have yet to throw the ball today. There's a pitch to McLean. McLean around the right side, down to the 20. Up to the 24-yard line. Good for a first down. And that'll move the chains for Dylan McLean. Call it the 25-yard line. A nice gain right there.
Leavenworth defense has yet to see a pass play so far this game, but they have 4 interceptions so far this season. So it'll be interesting to see if Schneider will test this Leavenworth secondary.
Single man on the left side. Man in motion. That's a keeper by Schneider. Schneider with a fumble on the last drive. McQuillan with a fumble on the drive before that. A lot of running. And Leavenworth is trying to put their hat right on the ball, poke that out, especially deep in their own territory. Shotgun eye. High snap. Handoff. McQuillan through the pile up to the 35, across the 35 to the 36.
Heck of a first down run there by McQuillan.
It was a great run. He
had about 3 or 4 defenders draped on him and just kept running.
Met that pile and drove it. Drove right through it like a Mack truck. Ball at the 37, 1st and 10, 42 seconds to go in the first quarter. Quick moving first quarter. Keeper through the middle. Schneider. Good enough for a first down, gain of 11.
2 first down runs in a row for this Lions offense.
That'll move the chains. And here come the Lions. They are starting to move the ball. This is about the time in their first drive that they coughed it up to Leavenworth. So let's see if they can kind of get across this midpoint and get as deep as they've been all day. Schneider in the shotgun. McQuillan to his right. It's going to be an option to McQuillan. It's a fumble. McQuillan with his second fumble of the day.
McQuillan could just not hand the pitch there by Schneider. And he was hit immediately. But somehow Lansing is able to fall on it.
That was dangerous. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. We're going to step away for 30 seconds. We'll be right back here on A10varsity.com. No score so far in Leavenworth.
For insurance and investment needs, Lansing looks to Dan Wilcott of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Stop by anytime at 611 Holiday Plaza or call 913-727-3213. That's 913-727-3213. Or visit danwilcott.fbfs.com.
Need storage space? Need to rent a U-Haul truck? The Storage Box is the answer. From storage services to truck renting to packing supplies, Storage Box has been providing exceptional service for more than 35 years with 3 locations, and they also ship packages all over the country at the Leavenworth Shipping Depot. Visit StorageBoxInc.com or call today 913-727-1236. That's 727-1236.
Second quarter of play live from Leavenworth High School. Leavenworth, Kansas. We'll switch sides. And after the third fumble of the day, it's now 2nd and a mile. 2nd and, let's call it about 15. That's going to be a handoff to Reese Thomas.
It'll be another long third down play here for Lansing.
That's his first carry of the day. opening seconds of the second quarter, and so far it has been a war of attrition. 3rd and a mile. 3rd and 13. Now back to pass. Going to attempt the first pass of the day. It is caught. It's going to be short of the first down. Malik Benson with the reception, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Looks like the offense is staying on the field.
Yep. Nope. Here comes the punting team. McLean, the punter, also the wide receiver. He's back to kick. 2 receivers back to receive. That's a much better punt. It's going to be received by Devin Whiteworth. Devin to the near side, still on his feet across the 20 to the 25, dodges a defender to the 30, 35, pushed out of bounds. Nice punt recovery by Devin Whitworth. And that'll give Leavenworth another short field. They'll start it at the 37-yard line.
Solid blocking on the play by the Leavenworth punt return team, allowing him to get outside for a solid gain, and solid field position here for their 3rd drive of the night.
Twice they've been stopped inside the red zone by the Lansing defense, and the Lansing defense is back out on the field again. McKinley from the shotgun. He'll hand off to Bird. Bird to the right side. Stacked up behind the line. It's going to be a loss of about 2. Jahan Bird, after one really strong run, has really been stymied in the backfield so far.
Lansing set the middle linebacker up on a blitz there, stuffed the run. For a loss of 2 there on the play for the Pioneers.
To the near side. Keenan Brown crosses it across the 45, pushed out of bounds. Keenan Brown with his first carry of the night. He's normally your kick returner. 5'9", 165-pound sophomore. 1 touchdown on the season. Brown will line up to the right side now, along with Devin Whitworth. To the right, 2 to the left. Bird in the backfield. Bird will get it. Head straight up the middle. And a mild gain of 1 for Jahan Bird. So they are really stacking the box and expecting Bird to get it every play. And this might be where you see the passing game open up a little bit.
Coming in is number 20, Seth Drennan, the 5'10", 170-pound senior. Looks like we'll have 2 backs in the backfield here. They're lined up in the I formation.
This is the play they've been doing on the goal line. 2nd and 9. Pitch out to the right side to Bird. And he's going to be drugged down by Dylan McLean. McLean for a huge loss. He's the punter. He's a wide receiver. He's the defensive. It's like from the safety position.
Excellent play by McLean there, making it 3rd and long for the Pioneers.
McLean definitely getting penetration. We've called his name several times on defense. And so far, Leavenworth has yet to solve the Lansing defense. They have thrown the kitchen sink at him and been unable to move the ball into the end zone. There's your first pass. Overthrown, intended for Whitworth.
Looks
just
like
a little too high.
Slightly overthrown there. Good coverage there on the play by the Lions. And the Pioneers will punt yet again. Punters are getting some work here today.
McLean and Pledger back. And that kick is going to go out of bounds. Not a very good kick. It's going to be out of bounds somewhere around the 35. Not sure what's going on in the coach's box to our right, but somebody's getting an earful. So Lansing will take over again. They've had 3 fumbles so far in the day. Have not really been there. The last drive, they were able to move the ball a little bit. But these fumbles are killing them in that wing T offense. Schneider and McQuillan. Schneider with the carry, McQuillan with the carry. Gain of about 4. Bearing up 2nd and 6.
Good second effort there on the play. Looks like he was stuffed at the line of scrimmage, but still manages to get positive yardage out of the play.
7.5 left to go in the half. No score here. Lansing and Leavenworth. Locking horns on the Leavenworth homecoming game. Keeper by the quarterback. Boy, he's got both arms just wrapped around that football, does Schneider.
Another big third down here for the Lansing offense.
3rd and about 3. 3rd and about 2, maybe.
Just 7 minutes here to go in the second quarter.
Handoff. Up the middle, McQuillan. Looks like he's going to have the first down.
Just enough for the first down there.
Huge first down there for the Lansing offense, the Lions. And they get a new set of downs. Only seen one pass so far from Lansing. Got one man lined up to the right side. That's Malik Benson. Trouble in the backfield. Still on his feet. Flags are flying. It's like Dylan McLean had it. And certainly
Schneider was hit right as he was tossing it.
Broken play there.
Good play by Dylan McLean to hang on to the ball.
And we'll see what the flag's all about. Personal foul face mask on Leavenworth. That's our first penalty of the day, and a huge one. It's going to give them an automatic first down and tack 15 on to the play. That should bring them across midfield. It will, about to the 45. To the 41-yard line of Leavenworth. So a huge play there, huge costly penalty. And right now, and that's going to be a false start. Somebody got the snap count wrong on that one. But this really has been who's going to make the least mistakes. Leavenworth's made a big one, and Lansing's had 3 fumbles.
McLean jumping a little early there amongst a couple of others of his other teammates.
McLean's been on the field, I think, for every snap of the game so far. Two-way players are something else. High snap, handoff inside. McQuillan going to take on the pile and push it about 6 yards. On a 2nd and 15, he's going to get about half of that back. So it'll be 3rd and about 6 for Lansing. So there's your another huge second down. That was 1st and 15. So 2nd down, 2nd and 8. Let's call it. For the wing T running Lansing Lions. High snap, keeper by the quarterback. Schneider up into the pile. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And it'll bring up third and about 4.
This Lansing rushing attack is picking up a solid 4 yards, it seems like, each play. See if they can keep that rolling.
Crowd starting to get into it. Good crowd on hand. They're all kind of been sitting on their hands so far. Have been pushed back the last 2 times they've had the offense. Handoff. There he goes to McQuillan. McQuillan through the middle. He's going to score a touchdown. Connor McQuillan. With a 36-yard touchdown run to put Lansing on the board.
McQuillan saw the hole and he took it all the way for 6.
Well, he sure did. And
First points of the game.
That's really the benefit of that wing tee, is that you just run this deception, and then every once in a while, a hole will open up.
Caught the Pioneer defense guessing there. Didn't know where he was going to go with it.
Lining up for the PAT, Charlie Plessel. As the Lions up 6-0, looking to make it 7. Plessel missed a field goal from that distance, and the extra point is good. So 7-0 Lansing over Leavenworth early in the first half. 4:55 left to go. Let's step away for 30 seconds. We'll be right back. 810varsity.com.
Exchange Bank and Trust has been a proud supporter of area high school athletics since 1856. With locations in Leavenworth, Lansing, and throughout Northeast Kansas, plus online banking for local and military at myexchangebank.com. That's myexchangebank.com. Exchange Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Just this white wall.
810varsity.com. 4:55 left to go in the first half. Lansing able to finally poke it into the end zone. They take the early lead, 7-0 over Leavenworth. Chris Kamler alongside Drake Watkins. And a rushing touchdown for Connor McQuillan.
Back deep for the Pioneers is Jahan Bird and Keenan Brown.
Plessel will be kicking it off. I'll tell you what, they're going to have to figure out a way to get Jahan Bird out into open waters, because it's been all about stopping him tonight. Taken by the upback. Looks to be Javon Dethard. And that'll give Leavenworth some good field possession with just under 5 minutes to go in the half.
Lions with the short kick there, maybe to avoid giving Jahan Bird more touches.
41 is where they'll start their drive, their own 41. 1st and 10. McKinley and Bird in the backfield. McKinley from the shotgun, going to hand it off to Bird. Bird going to take the long way around to the right side, trying to cut the corner, and he is not going to make it. He was drugged down by Liam Terry, who stopped him, and then another Lion got in, but that's going to be a loss of probably about 2.
Excellent pursuit on the play there by the Lions defense.
And it has been all about stopping Jahan Bird, who rushed for 352 yards. Not just so far this season. That was last week against Turner.
Don't forget, he also had 6 touchdowns.
Which is more rushing yards than the entire Bear defense last week. And so far, he has been pretty quiet except for one run in the first drive. Bird again, taking his time, finding a hole. Positive yardage, gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and long, though. And Leavenworth has not really shown an interest in passing. We'll have to see what they do right here. 3:31. Clock continues to run. Leavenworth now trailing 7-0. 2 wide receivers to the left side, 2 to the right side. Back to passes McKinley. Passing on the run. Intended for Drake Allen, and it is not on target, and it'll bring up 4th down. So we'll have an exchange of the football here as the punting team will head out on the field. Boy, it has really been all about stopping Bird, and the only thing Bird can do right now is he's the punter, so he'll have to kick it away. Back to receive is number 3, Tremont Pledger. Bird rolling to the right side. Rugby-style kick. And it'll be down at the 37-yard line. And that's where we'll switch sides again. Bring out the Lansing offense, fresh off their touchdown by Connor McQuillan, the running back. 36-yard touchdown last drive. And so far, this homecoming crowd here in Leavenworth has not had a ton to cheer about. They were knocking on the door twice so far tonight, but the Lansing defense was able to keep them out. Derek Robinson II takes the handoff. Able to take the ball about 6 yards. That's his first carry of the night. The junior. 7.7 yards per carry average, and that was about 6 yards. So right on par. Single wide receiver to the right side. That's Tremont Pledger. An I formation. High snap. They're going to try to go out to the near side to Robinson, and Robinson is cracked down right at the line of scrimmage. So no gain. It'll bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 6.
Great play by number 22 there, Jovan Darhard.
For only to be in the 2nd or 3rd pass of the game, I mean, Darhard was really on top of it. He was ready for it. Hand off up the middle, and he's through. There goes McQuillan again to the 30, 20, 10, 5, another touchdown. A 58-yard touchdown by Connor McQuillan, his 2nd of the game.
Looks like they had him down with about 5 yards in, but he broke that tackle, and nobody was there to stop him.
Connor McQuillan, so far able to find those holes. And that one's good for 6 points for 58 yards. Charlie Plessel is on to attempt the PAT. And this Leavenworth crowd is pretty quiet right now. Plessel. And that one's up and good. So he's 2 for 2 on the night. And with just a few moments left to go in the first half, 1:41 left. It's Lansing 14, Leavenworth 0. Step away just for one more moment. We'll be right back here on 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Back inside Leavenworth Pioneer Stadium on the campus of Leavenworth High School, Leavenworth, Kansas. And Leavenworth has some work to do as they trail by 2 touchdowns, both of which scored by Connor McQuillan. a 36-yarder, and a 58-yarder. And Plessel able to kick it to about the 10-yard line up the middle. Be down at about the 38, and that got pretty exciting pretty quick.
This crowd here is just looking for something to cheer for.
Keenan Brown on the 30-yard kickoff return, and they will start right at the 40-yard line. And so far, the game has been the running prowess of McQuillan and the defensive prowess of the Lansing Lions D. That 2 times in the first quarter, Leavenworth was knocking on the door, and Lansing was able to keep them out. Bird to the right side, trying to cut the corner, and he does. Across the 40 to the 45. Still on his feet to the 40. Across midfield to the 40-yard line, and Bird, boy, you don't want to have him out in space because he will rack up those yards very, very quickly, and that's only been about the second really positive yardage for Bird, more than about 5 yards, and boy, you can tell why he is so dangerous. If he breaks that tackle, he is gone.
It's an excellent spin move towards the end of the run there, picking up an extra 5 yards.
And they'll call a timeout. We'll take it with them here on 810varsity.com. Lansing beating Leavenworth 14-0.
Core Civic is proud to support Lansing Athletics. Core Civic is America's leader in partnership corrections, operating over 60 facilities in nearly half of all states. Learn more about Core Civic job opportunities at corecivic.com. You can apply for a rewarding position as a correctional officer, a nurse, or a school teacher, just to name a few. Your next career could be in corrections with Core Civic. Visit corecivic.com. That's corecivic.com.
810varsity.com, Friday Night Lights, live from Leavenworth High School. As it's been all Lansing Lions so far, defensively and offensively, with the exception of maybe 3 fumbles, one of which that they lost. Lansing has played sharp. They have played really, really well. But Leavenworth trying to get a score before halftime. 1:25 left to go in the half. Bird now to the left side. He's going to run. Trying to find a hole, and the ball's out. It's going to be recovered by the Pioneers. But that's the first miscue by Bird. Fumble there. As the Lions, why not go for the ball? Heck yeah. So that'll bring up 2nd and 14, under a minute to go, and looks like Leavenworth is in no hurry to run another play, unless they can get Bird out in space. He's so dangerous. Bird now over the right side, looking like they're going to throw it, and it is right through the arms of Devin Whitworth, the junior.
Would have been a perfect play. He was just beyond the first down marker there. He had his feet down, it looked like, just could not hang on to it.
He had his feet right where it needed to be. He just didn't stick them on those gloves. 3rd down. Clock stopped now, 38 seconds. They got time to chuck it up a couple more times.
Pioneers have 2 timeouts remaining.
So, yeah, the middle is open for you. You got plenty of time here. Try to get another first down, get it in the middle of the field, maybe get lucky with the kicker. And then there's always Bird, and the Bird's going to get the pass there. Oh, drugged down by the backside. Let's see if that brings a flag.
No flag yet.
No flag. My goodness. They must have gotten all jersey, but I'll tell you what, he took a dive towards the near sideline. And the crowd is letting the Zebras have it.
Reaction from the Leavenworth sideline there. It looked like it would have been a flag, but referee will keep it in his pocket.
Bird, so angry, he comes over and punches the metal bench, which is probably another thing that you don't want to do. He is visibly frustrated as now 4th down, 4th and 14. And the coaching staff, Coach Mark Luttrell, is really letting the officiating crew hear it. And Bird is still just pacing the sidelines, visibly upset. And why shouldn't he be? I'll tell you what, after a week like he had last week, and just gotten so close to breaking a couple of them. They've been inside the 10 twice, and it just hasn't happened for them yet. A good piece of leadership by his junior guard, Anthony Garcia, who kind of goes over to us and says, "Hey, man, we got a whole other half of football to go."
It's a scary play there. I'm glad Bird's all right.
And it'll be 4th down, 15 seconds to go, and they're going to go ahead and get a kick away. And then back to receive. They're going to just let that roll. That's Dylan McClain. We'll let that one roll. It'll go inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. And my guess is that Lansing will just take a knee with 5 seconds to go, and we'll head over to halftime. Halftime, we'll try to bring you some scores around the EKL, the Kansas side, the Missouri side, and try to get you an update on Bishop Miege, Rockhurst. And it does look like they're going to go ahead and just take a knee, and we will head off to halftime here in just a second. And that's what they'll do, and halftime it is. Lansing 14, Leavenworth 0. You're watching continuing coverage of Friday Night Lights high school football on 810varsity.com. We're going to pay a few bills, play a few ads. We'll be right back here with halftime.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Core Civic is proud to support Lansing Athletics. Core Civic is America's leader in partnership corrections, operating over 60 facilities in nearly half of all states. Learn more about Core Civic job opportunities at corecivic.com. You can apply for a rewarding position as a correctional officer, a nurse, or a school teacher, just to name a few. Your next career could be in corrections with Core Civic. Visit CoreCivic.com. That's CoreCivic.com.
Exchange Bank and Trust has been a proud supporter of area high school athletics since 1856. With locations in Leavenworth, Lansing, and throughout northeast Kansas, plus online banking for local and military at myexchangebank.com. That's myexchangebank.com. Exchange Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Need storage space? Need to rent a U-Haul truck? The Storage Box is the answer. From storage services to truck renting to packing supplies, Storage Box has been providing exceptional service for more than 35 years with 3 locations, and they also ship packages all over the country at the Leavenworth Shipping Depot. Visit storageboxinc.com or call today 913-727-1236. That's 727-1236.
For insurance and investment needs, Lansing looks to Dan Wilcott of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Stop by anytime at 611 Holiday Plaza or call 913-727-3213. That's 913-727-3213. Or visit danwilcott.fbfs.com. For insurance and investment needs, Lansing looks to Dan Wilcott of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Stop by anytime at 611 Holiday Plaza or call 913-727-3213. That's 913-727-3213. Or visit danwilcott.fbfs.com.
Need storage space? Need to rent a U-Haul truck? The Storage Box is the answer. From storage services to truck renting to packing supplies, Storage Box has been providing exceptional service for more than 35 years with 3 locations, and they also ship packages all over the country at the Leavenworth Shipping Depot. Visit storageboxinc.com or call today 913-727-1236. That's 727-1236.
Exchange Bank and Trust has been a proud supporter of area high school athletics since 1856. With locations in Leavenworth, Lansing, and throughout northeast Kansas, plus online banking for local and military at myexchangebank.com. That's myexchangebank.com. Exchange Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Core Civic is proud to support Lansing Athletics. Core Civic is America's leader in partnership corrections, operating over 60 facilities in nearly half of all states. Learn more about Core Civic job opportunities at corecivic.com. You can apply for a rewarding position as a correctional officer, a nurse, or a school teacher, just to name a few. Your next career could be in corrections with Core Civic. Visit corecivic.com. That's corecivic.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Kansas? No, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
So I watched the game. I was there at Heinz Field. Oh, was that just last weekend?
We played 49ers and Steelers.
Oh, that's
the week
right.
before
2
that.
weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago I was there.
We had a pretty cool stadium.
It's not bad. It's right along the river. It's very pretty.
What's it called?
Heinz Field.
Steelers were kind of a mess after we beat them.
Yeah, the fans were just so pissed off. Not a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
From the second drive of the game.
Still don't have Bell back. Probably going to end up trading him, it looks like. I don't even
have to. He certainly has no interest in rushing back. Week 4.
play fantasy football.
No, I play fantasy baseball a little bit. I don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
Make
Definitely
really bad NFL bets online.
Yeah. I had Thielen, and he had a pretty good game last night. It's crazy that we got October coming up so soon. Playoff baseball right now.
Yeah, it's going way too fast.
I agree. Glad we have a ball game. Each game I've done so far, it's been in finest by a lot.
Yeah, it's
2 possession game. Who started with the ball?
Lansing.
Leavenworth will get it to start.
Just about ready to start second half action here. Lansing 14, Leavenworth 0 on 810varsity.com. Thanks for joining us. Drake Watkins alongside Chris Kamler. It's been a beautiful evening. And except if you're a Leavenworth fan, because so far they have been inside the 10 twice, had one fumble And Lansing has been able to keep them out of the end zone and scored 2 touchdowns of their own by Connor McQuillan, one for 36 yards and one from 58 yards. Drake, what's kind of struck you the most about the first half?
Lansing's done really well running the ball so far. Leavenworth doesn't seem to have too much of an answer. 2 long runs here by McQuillan, but it's still just a 14-0 game, so it's just a 2-score game, and Leavenworth will start out with the ball. So if they can go down and score there on their first drive, we still have a ball game here.
And I think it's really been, what hasn't happened. We haven't heard too much from Jahan Bird, who only scored 6 touchdowns last week, 352 yards in one game. Now that was their 83-21 win over Turner, which, statistics might not necessarily be the best. Hey, what's going on, dude? How are you?
Seen Bird with a couple good runs, but he just has been held intact by this Lansing defense and just cannot get much going.
And I think the Lions would want nothing better than to spoil Leavenworth's homecoming. They are up 14-0. We're going to step away for a couple minutes. We'll be right back with second half action. Lansing 14, Leavenworth nothing.
Core Civic is proud to support Lansing Athletics. Core Civic is America's leader in partnership corrections, operating over 60 facilities in nearly half of all states. Learn more about Core Civic job opportunities at corecivic.com. You can apply for a rewarding position as a correctional officer, a nurse, or a school teacher, just to name a few. Your next career could be in corrections with Core Civic. Visit corecivic.com. That's corecivic.com.
Exchange Bank and Trust has been a proud supporter of area high school athletics since 1856. With locations in Leavenworth, Lansing, and throughout Northeast Kansas, plus online banking for local and military at myexchangebank.com. That's myexchangebank.com. Exchange Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Need storage space? Need to rent a U-Haul truck? The Storage Box is the answer. From storage services to truck renting to packing supplies, Storage Box has been providing exceptional service for more than 35 years with 3 locations, and they also ship packages all over the country at the Leavenworth Shipping Depot. Visit storageboxinc.com or call today, 913-727-1236. That's 727-1236.
Back inside Pioneer Stadium. Lansing 14, Leavenworth nothing on Leavenworth's homecoming. Thanks for joining us on 810varsity.com. A great night of high school football. And we're going to have a great second half here as Leavenworth will get their first chance after the kickoff from Charlie Plessel. And they will start the second half with the ball. Line drive kick. Going to be taken by the up back. Across the middle, and he is down. That was Nathan Waugh. And that was certainly a hard hit. Story so far has been Lansing's defense and the 2 touchdowns by Connor McQuillan. So Leavenworth has not been able to get Jahan Bird, their running back, out in space. They've only done it twice, and he was visibly upset towards the end of the first half, and he heads back out on the field with his quarterback, Robert McKinley. Jahan Bird, the 5'8", 195-pound junior. McKinley, the senior. They're lining up 3 wide to the left side. And Bird will get it to start the second half. Gain of just maybe 1 for Jahan Bird. Has 1 fumble on the day. And Lansing has 3. They've lost 1. Bird did not lose the fumble. Leavenworth kept it. And we are just seconds into the second half. 14-0. Lansing over Leavenworth. Thanks for joining us on 810varsity.com. And they're still spreading it out a little bit. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Back to pass. Looking across the middle. He's going to overthrow his intended receiver, Javon Dethard. And they are certainly showing a different look than they were the first half. Everything was very, very compressed. And I think Lansing was able to stack the box, and now they're going to at least try to throw it to get Bird some space to run.
Trying to switch it up here on the Lions defense, spreading it out. 4 wide receivers so far. 3 out wide and 1 to the short side of the field once again.
Bird to the left side now. 4-5 drop from McKinley. McKinley's got a man across the middle into double coverage. That was Devin Whitworth. And he overthrew it. Good coverage on that play by who else but Dylan McLean, who is having a day so far today. He's been jumping snap counts. He's been out in free safety. He has been doing it all. He's on special teams. He's now back to receive. I love players like that. They're just a blast to watch. Punter is Betancourt. He is back to pass.
Keep it.
And he's going to keep it. Gives it to Bird.
It's going to be close.
And Bird's going to be very close to the first down. Let's see if they give it to him.
It's one way to get momentum there for your Pioneer squad.
Heck yeah. It looks like a first down.
Referee's still discussing.
Yeah, they're going to call for a measurement. I mean, they're right there. But
Chain gang won't have to go far for this measure.
I mean, when Bird goes back to he's your punter, and that's one way to give him 10 yards of space to run, kind of go downfield or go downhill and get him going. So we'll see if he got the first down. Otherwise, it's going to be big trouble for Lansing, and he did just by the nick of the teeth there. And a big first down for Jahan Bird and the Pioneers. That might have been the ball game right there. You turn that over. It's your own 40. Now Bird all alone in the backfield. McKinley under center. 1 to the left side, 1 to the right side. Bird now cuts to the left side. Tries to turn the corner. Juke move across the 50 to the 45. And he is hit hard on the sidelines. Pushed out of bounds. A second first down for Jahan Bird. They are getting their money's worth on the hits outside.
Looked like number 5, Connor McQuillan, on the hit there. Able to push Bird out of bounds after the big gain. Pioneers in business now as they're getting into Lansing territory.
10:39 left to go, third quarter. Leavenworth needing to get on the board, trailing by 14. 1 wide receiver to the right side, 1 to the left side. You got a tight end, and all alone in the backfield, Jahan Bird. Bird will get it to the right side now. Lead blocker across the 45. To the 42, still on his feet, spinning around and drugged down. Gain of 2. Defensive coordinator for Lansing is just, he's flinging his headset. He's not happy right now on that. Boy, I'll tell you what. This is a passionate football game. These two teams have a long history. These two cities right next to each other in Kansas, eastern Kansas. Bird in the backfield. 2nd and 8. Pitch to the right side. To the left side, rather. Turning the corner across the 40, 35. That'll be good for a first down.
Excellent block there on the outside by number 20. Seth Drennan clearing a path for Bird.
This
For a
is
solid pickup.
This is exactly what they wanted to do in the first half. Nice adjustments made by head coach Luttrell. And looks like they're going to call a timeout. We'll go ahead and take it with them here on 810varsity.com. Lansing 14, Leavenworth nothing. We'll be right back here in 30 seconds. Second half action, 9:51 left to go in the third quarter. The first half was all about trying to contain Jahan Bird, and the second half so far has been the Jahan Bird show, as he has had 3 big runs, including a fake punt to pick up a critical fourth down. And it's going to be Bird again, all Bird, pausing to get through the corner, to get through the middle rather, across the 30. Down to the 26-yard line, gain of about 8. It'll bring up second and short for Jahan Bird. So this might be an opportunity for them to maybe get a pass in, spread out the defense a little bit, maybe go to the end zone. When you know Bird running so well, he can certainly get these 2 yards on third down.
Bird doing a good job keeping his feet running and following forward.
So let's see what happens. You got Whitworth out to the right side, Javon Dethar to the left side. And McKinley, nope, it's going to give it to Bird. Bird gets those 2 yards. Now across the 23, spun around. We'll see if they give him forward progress. They should. Actually, the ref's going to back up a little bit. He had the first down and then was pushed back, and they took 2 yards away. So it's going to be third and short.
Number 3, Trey Matt Pledger in on the tackle there. Looked like Bird had a lane, but Pledger was able to stop him in his tracks.
8:41 left to go, third quarter. Big series for Leavenworth here. The Pioneers trying to pull their way back into this one. Wide receiver to the right side, one to the left side. Quarterback sneak for McKinley, and he's going to have it no problem.
Caught the defensive line there napping.
Well, I mean, when you got a guy like Bird in the backfield, your eyes are always going to be on him no matter what. And they were just able to sneak right through, get those 2 yards, and it's going to be first and 10 at the 21. Leavenworth knocking on the door again. They were inside the 10 twice in the first quarter, and the Lions were able to stop them. McKinley under center. Handoff to Bird. Bird tripped up in the backfield. Great slowdown block by Dylan McLean, and he is wrapped up. He's going to lose a couple of yards.
Looks like he had some space there on the outside, but he decided to cut it back in and ran into a host of Lansing defenders.
$14-0. Lansing over Leavenworth. Single to the left, single to the right side. Tight end. And in the backfield all by himself. It's like a hard snap count. And looks like they got Lansing to jump. Jordan Bridgette.
Give Leavenworth another 5 yards to work with.
Absolutely. That'll go good. For second and about 7 now. Second and 7, we'll call it.
The ball now in the red zone. You cannot have that for the Lansing defense.
And that's one thing that Lansing did not do all the first half. I think they only had 1 penalty on them. All alone in the backfield is Bird. Bird will get to the pitch to the left side, trying to get across his lead blocker, and he does. To the 10. And he'll be drugged down after a first down for Jahan Bird. Running very, very well in the second half, much more confidently. He's got space to run. He's also being patient. He's waiting for the holes to develop.
Incredible drive here so far for the Pioneers. Definitely their best drive of the game.
Ball sits right on the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal to go from the 10. This is the third time they have been inside the 10-yard line. Bird, who else? Waits for a hole to develop. Goes across the 10 down to the 7-yard line. And Bird is still on the ground. And they're going to call an injury timeout. So this is something to watch here, Jahan Bird. And let's take a timeout here as they tend to Bird. We'll be right back here on 810varsity.com.
Need storage space? Need to rent a U-Haul truck? The Storage Box is the answer. From storage services to truck renting to packing supplies, Storage Box has been providing exceptional service for more than 35 years with 3 locations. And they also ship packages all over the country at the Leavenworth Shipping Depot. Visit StorageBoxInc.com or call today, 913-727-1236. That's 727-1236.
Back inside Pioneer Stadium, they're tending to running back junior Jahan Bird. Just during the commercial break, he's in some visible pain. And as they're tending to him, it's been all him so far in the second half, so we'll have to keep an eye on that carefully. And let's go ahead and take another 30-second timeout. We'll be right back, 810varsity.com.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Lansing 14, Leavenworth nothing. Trainers are tending to Jahan Bird. We're trying to get a look and see what's going on. Looks like they're going to get the four-wheeler out, get him back to the training room, and take a peek at what's going on. And that's certainly not what you want to see. I don't think it was a concussive type blow, but he's really writhing in some pain right now. And so while they get him off the field, let's take another 30-second break. We'll be right back.
For insurance and investment needs, Lansing looks to Dan Wilcott of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Stop by anytime at 611 Holiday Plaza or call 913-727-3213. That's 913-727-3213. Or visit danwilcott.fbfs.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Back inside Pioneer Stadium where trainers are taking a peek at Jahan Bird, the leading rusher, really leading athlete for Leavenworth so far, and this is going to be a huge blow, and they are going to go ahead and bring out a backboard. It really didn't look like he's moving all of his extremities, so it's nothing super crazy, but he's in some visible pain, so that's certainly not what you want to see. We'll reset, 6:43 left to go in the third quarter. Lansing 14, Leavenworth nothing. This is still the opening drive of the second half for Leavenworth. They've really been able to chew up a lot of clock. It's been all Jahan Bird. They started at it was about the 35-yard line, I think, and Bird has he converted a fourth down on a fake punt. He got a couple other first downs, and just driving past the 10 down to about the 6-yard line, he hit the ground, and he has remained there, and they're going to go ahead and get him out on the gator. So while they do that, let me go ahead and pay a couple more bills. We'll be right back here on 810varsity.com.
Core Civic is proud to support Lansing Athletics. Core Civic is America's leader in partnership corrections, operating over 60 facilities in nearly half of all states. Learn more about Core Civic job opportunities at corecivic.com. You can apply for a rewarding position as a correctional officer, a nurse, or a school teacher, just to name a few. Your next career could be in corrections with Core Civic. Visit corecivic.com. That's corecivic.com.
Sideline reporter.
14-0 here, Lansing over Leavenworth. Leavenworth knocking on the door, and they have suffered an injury, some sort of an injury to Jahan Bird. I mean, it doesn't seem to be, he's able to move all of his extremities. It's just whatever's going on is certainly not allowing him to resume play right now. I wonder if it might be a collarbone or something, a shoulder, because he's able to kind of move everything else. They brought the board out, but it doesn't look like it's going to be anything that they're going to have to immobilize him for. He's just whatever it is. It's not a great injury, so we'll kind of keep an eye out.
Trainer's being very patient with this and not rushing him to get him out of here.
Seth Drennan, his senior wide receiver, has gone over a couple of times to give him some words of encouragement, and certainly wish the young man well. If you're just joining us, thanks for joining us here on Friday Night Lights, 810varsity.com. Lansing 14, Leavenworth nothing. 6:43 left to go in the third quarter. Got a fairly substantial delay as they're tending to an injury for Jahan Bird. And what started out as just a normal run, Bird has not been able to get up from it. He's been moving all his arms and legs and everything, but the training staff doing a great job here for both teams. They have done a fantastic job, and they are still tending to him, and they're waiting to now I'm not totally sure that they're not waiting to get an ambulance out on the field, so I mean, these training staffs are just, you've done a number of games for 8-10, and these hits that these kids take, they do an amazing job, and it's certainly not the way it was 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago. These training staffs treat it for real, and they do a great job. And if it's a serious enough injury, they'll shut it down and say, hey, listen, we're going to do it our way or no way at all. So
they were out there tending to Bird pretty quick. Both sidelines taking a knee. Even the cheerleaders here taking a knee. Players on the field trying to stay warm during this.
Yeah, and it is started at 60 degrees. It looks like it's dropped It's only a couple degrees, 58 now here up in Leavenworth, Kansas, just about 20 minutes north and west of Kansas City.
Bringing in another cart here for him.
Yeah, here comes the ambulance. That's what I was kind of afraid of. They're going to just go ahead and get the EMTs out and take him straight to the hospital. So that's an awful blow for Leavenworth, and the crowd is certainly very, very silent right now.
Just an unfortunate play all around.
Bird well over 100 yards tonight.
The ambulance is pulling into the parking lot here at Pioneer Stadium.
A couple of scores from around the area. Rockhurst 14, Bishop Miege. That's a second half score. Looks like Miege and Rockhurst both traded touchdowns in the third quarter. The Hornets are all over Truman. I want to say it was 19-0 at halftime. Keep an eye on that game. Let's see some other scores. Paola all over Baldwin, 35-0. Kearney up over Belton, 49-14. Blue Springs taking care of Ray Peck, 28-7. Blue Valley, 28. Blue Valley Northwest, 0. Blue Valley North really sticking it to Mill Valley, 34-8. These are halftime scores. St. Joe Lafayette over Chillicothe, 35-0. Gardner Edgerton, 35. Olathe Northwest, 6. Holden, 21. Lafayette County, 14. So Bird was on a carry over to the left side. About a 4-yard carry for him.
Didn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be anything, shocking or something that immediately stopped him in his tracks. But he was in a lot of pain when he hit the ground. He had both hands over his eyes, and trainers came out and have kind of immobilized him. And here comes the EMTs. Boy, you just never want to see that in a high school football game. But good things that they're there. And again, it does not, just from our layman's perspective, he was moving all of his extremities. So that's a good thing. But
he was kicking his feet, but he seemed to be in quite a deal of pain.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain, so that is less good. When we resume play, Leavenworth will have the ball inside the 10. They had been stopped twice before in the first half trying to score. That Lansing defense really able to stymie Leavenworth so far. And Lansing able to score 2 touchdowns of their own, both by Connor McQuillan, the senior running back, one of 36 yards and one of 58 yards. So Coach Luttrell going over and comforting Bird, moving his feet, moving his hands. But it does look like they're going to bring him out in an ambulance, which is just a big old bummer. That's he's playing really well. They got his pads off, and yeah, and that wouldn't have been something they would do if it was any sort of a spinal issue. They wouldn't have taken his pads off, so that's at least good. Well, while they go ahead and get him off, let's go ahead and pay a few more bills. We'll be right back. 14-0 Lansing over Leavenworth. 810varsity.com.
Chiefs Checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs Checking from Community America.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
It's back inside Leavenworth Pioneer Stadium. And they've got Jahan Bird up onto the stretcher, and then he's getting a huge round of applause from the Leavenworth and Lansing crowds. It's an unconfirmed report in the press box of a head injury. I mean, he was moving around, so it doesn't look to be any sort of spinal thing, but obviously you don't want to guesstimate in things like this. He'll go and get the care that he needs and be back just as soon as he can be. And it's a shame because he was absolutely in control of this drive. And there he's heading off the field. He's got the neck brace on. You know, put him into the back of the ambulance, and we'll get back started here in just a few minutes. And boy, what started out is just the crowd being kind of somber because they were losing 14-0, and then you have that happen. They're driving the ball, 6:43 left to go in the third quarter, and definitely not something that you want to have happen, especially to your star running back.
Looks like Bird gave the thumbs up as he was getting carted away. Hope for the best here for Bird. Now this Leavenworth offense will take the field once again. Starting from their own 6-yard line.
All right, yeah, we're still waiting for the training staff to shut everything down, but they're getting him pulled off the field. Like, okay, boys, wait just another minute. So into the game is to be running back Keenan Brown now is going to take over for Bird. He's all alone in the backfield, and he'll have one wide receiver to the left side, Will McKinley, and one wide receiver to the right side. It is 2nd and 6, second and goal from the 6. 6:43 left to go in the third quarter.
Keenan Brown, the 5'9", 165-pound sophomore, with 20 carries on the season with 77 yards with just one touchdown. He'll look to add to his numbers here.
They're waiting to make sure the ambulance doesn't need part of the field to turn around. And they're going to call another timeout as they wait to get the ambulance off the field. Let's go ahead and take it with them. We'll be right back here on 810varsity.com.
Core Civic is proud to support Lansing Athletics. Core Civic is America's leader in partnership corrections, operating over 60 facilities in nearly half of all states. Learn more about Core Civic job opportunities at corecivic.com. You can apply for a rewarding position as a correctional officer, a nurse, or a school teacher, just to name a few. Your next career could be in corrections with Core Civic. Visit corecivic.com. That's corecivic.com.
Exchange Bank and Trust has been a proud supporter of area high school athletics since 1856. With locations in Leavenworth, Lansing, and throughout Northeast Kansas, plus online banking for local and military at myexchangebank.com. That's myexchangebank.com. Exchange Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Need storage space? Need to rent a U-Haul truck? The Storage Box is the answer. From storage services to truck renting to packing supplies, Storage Box has been providing exceptional service for more than 35 years with 3 locations, and they also ship packages all over the country at the Leavenworth Shipping Depot. Visit storageboxinc.com or call today 913-727-1236. That's 727-1236.
For insurance and investment needs, Lansing looks to Dan Wilcott of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Stop by anytime at 611 Holiday Plaza or call 913-727-3213. That's 913-727-3213. Or visit danwilcott.fbfs.com.
Making sure he's all secured in the inside the ambulance before they take off here.
Driver's getting in. All right, back in Leavenworth, Kansas. Getting ready to get back underway. They are getting the ambulance, the Leavenworth County EMTs. Doing a great job tending to junior running back for Leavenworth, Jahan Bird, who was injured on the previous play. A 4-yard run over to the left side. And they are tending to him, and I think the officials are just kind of waiting, and just in case the ambulance is going to need part of the field. And Lansing on the other side of the field, they're going to go ahead and run a couple of plays, and it's just kind of their own. I mean, it's been a little bit longer than halftime was, so both teams have certainly been able to prepare. When we reset, it'll be 14-0 Lansing over Leavenworth, but Leavenworth knocking on the door. They've got 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line, but they will be without the services of their running back, Jahan Bird, and they will instead look to Javon DeThard and Keenan Brown to shoulder the weight. Quarterback Robert McKinley. That'll certainly change your offense around a little bit. They did start to open it up, start to throw the ball a little bit in the second half to get Bird some running lanes. And if there's one thing that football players know how to do, it's warm up. So they're going to take some wind sprints and still kind of wait. And
it's been about 30 to 45 minutes here.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
So both squads doing what they need to do to stay warm here.
It is a crisp night. I wouldn't call it cold yet. Call it just crisp. 58 degrees currently. Game started at 60. Looks like they've got the EMTs loaded up. Maybe. Yep, they're going to back them out. We're going to get back underway here in just a moment. Lansing 14, Leavenworth nothing. Homecoming night in Leavenworth. Leavenworth defeated Lansing 13-6 to open the season last year. And Leavenworth is 1-3. Their 3 losses coming to DeSoto, Shawnee Mission Northwest, and Baser Linwood, and then to just absolutely laying the wood to Turner last week, 83-21. And Lansing also sitting at 1-3. Their win coming in week 2 against Baser Linwood. And losing to Blue Valley Southwest, Shawnee Mission South, and DeSoto. So this will be the 5th game for both teams, and we're ready to get back underway. It's 2nd and goal from the 2. In the backfield, Keenan Brown. Under center, Robert McKinley. Wide receivers to the left and to the right. 2nd and goal. Lansing trying to implore their traveling crowd to get on their feet. Still waiting for the ready-to-play signal from the official.
Ambulance has finally cleared the track.
And they
Should
are
be hitting the
gone.
road soon.
They're good to go. And we are back to action any second now. All right, here we go. 2nd and goal from the 6. Leavenworth knocking on the door, trying to get their first points of the ball game. Pitch off to the right side. He's got a lane. And into the end zone is Keenan Brown.
Excellent blocking on the play. Keenan Brown able to get it out to the outside. Nobody in front of him. And that is 6 for the Pioneers offense.
That was too easy for Keenan Brown. Taking over for the injured Jahan Bird, and he gets a 6-yard scamper into the end zone on the pitch.
Trey Betancourt in for the extra point. We'll look to make this a 1-score game.
Betancourt, high snap, low kick, hits the upright. It's no good. So 14-6 is where we are after the long delay due to the injury, but we got ourselves a ball game now. 14-6, 6:32 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Absolutely what Leavenworth needed after that long delay, seeing their star running back taken off in an ambulance, and
would have liked to have that extra point there, but they are still down just 8. If their defense can come up with a stop and give their offense the ball back, Leavenworth is not in bad shape at all right
absolutely.
now.
They were able to matriculate the ball very nicely, and that was just the first series of the first drive of the second half. So it took a lot of time off the clock. And that's exactly where Leavenworth wants to be right now, minus maybe 1 point. So Betancourt will kick it off. Back to receive. Got Dylan McLean and Tremat Pledger. Had 1 touchback so far tonight. And that's going to be a low wobbling kick, almost an onside, and it's going to be covered up by Ethan Woods, the senior. And Lansing will get a little bit of a short field. They're going to take over at the 32-yard line.
It's a good job jumping on the ball there. You don't want to try and pick it up, lose it, give it right back to Leavenworth.
Lansing, their offense has been idle as well for about a half hour, so we'll see Schneider and McQuillan. McQuillan has 2 touchdowns on the ground today, 1 from 36 and 1 from 58, well over 100 yards on the night. And their offense hasn't been overpowering, but they've had it where they need it, and they have really been able to move the ball very nicely.
They've worked this Pioneer defense very well and has managed to get a couple big runs, and here is another
Robinson
big run.
Off the wing tee, and he found a lane across to the 30, the 20, 10, and he is pushed out of bounds finally at the 9-yard line. Derek Robinson the second.
This Leavenworth defense just cannot stop the big play today.
Call it a 70-yard run for Robinson, and right just like that, after one play, Lansing right back trying to get those points back. They've been running that wing tee all night, And every once in a while, you find a huge lane. Robinson again. They're going to give it to the middleman, McQuillan. McQuillan for an 8-yard touchdown, his third of the night.
Lansing offense made that look easy. Leavenworth defense just nowhere to be seen.
So Lansing gets their 6 points back, makes it 20-6, and they'll line up for the PAT. And that is the little bit of joy that the Leavenworth crowd tried to get is erased in less than 20 seconds. Plessel on for the PAT. High snap. They're going to roll it to the right side and go for 2. Kind of a broken play. And that is not going to go very far as Robinson tried to make something out of something.
Snapped just a little too high there for Derek Robinson. Decided to call the fire play and roll out, but had no receivers out and just had nothing going there.
So we are at 20-6. Still a 2-score game for Lansing.
Both teams struggling so far with extra points. Just over 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
I'm telling you, high school kickers in games that I call, they don't seem to get along very well, but had the points where they needed it, and Lansing's going to kick off again.
Still plenty of time in this ball game here for Leavenworth.
Oh, plenty of time. I mean, heck, they
had a solid drive last drives. If they can just repeat that, get in the end zone, this is still a ball game.
high end-over-end kick. Going to be taken at the 15. Oh, my goodness. Keenan Brown was truck-sticked.
Big hit on the play there by Ethan Woods, the 5'11", 175-pound senior.
Ethan Woods came to play today right on Keenan Brown. And it has been hard going for the running backs tonight, and Brown will take over in the backfield.
Reaction from the crowd there was all you needed to hear. Monster hit there on the kickoff.
6:09. We're still in this between the 6th and 7th minute. Going on about the 45th minute. Brown in the backfield. McKinley under center. He's got one wide receiver to the right side, one to the left side, and a tight end. It's going to go to Brown. Brown still on his feet, but he is met 1 yard past the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 9.
Tackle made once again by number 3, Trey Matt Pledger. Seems like he's been all over the field tonight for this Lansing defense.
Yeah, this defense has just been infectious tonight. I mean, they have really, really done a job. And with the exception of that 1 6-yard run, I mean, they have absolutely stopped Leavenworth when it needed to happen. The bend don't break defense.
First-year head coach Dylan Brown has his defense playing an incredibly good game here so far.
I formation now rolling out to the right side is McKinley looking to pass.
Interception on the play.
Big interception there by Lansing.
Yet another turnover here for Leavenworth.
And that one late in the third quarter is going to put Lansing in the driver's seat with a very, very short field. And Lansing and Schneider and McQuillan are really going to try to put some more nails in this. Handoff to Robinson. Robinson, who had the 70-yard scamper that set up the 8-yard Connor McQuillan score. Gets the ball there.
Excellent misdirection there by the Lansing offense. Faked it up the middle, headed on the outside.
That wing tee with you've got just guys running all over in the backfield. They're running backwards. They're running forwards. They're running to the left, right. And it's a triple option, but it's incredibly contained. And that was to the lead guy, McQuillan. McQuillan, getting close to the first down. Let's see if they gave it to him. Looks like it's going to be second and short. So 2nd and 1. 4:22 left to go in the third quarter.
3rd and short. Lansing's still in good shape. Expect them to run the ball here. They've been picking up 4 or 5 yards just about every carry, it seems like.
Single man to the right side. They've only attempted a couple of passes. It's been all wing T tonight. It's going to be a handoff to a 4th guy. And that is going to be Dylan McLean for 17 yards. And a commanding lead of 26-6. Three touchdowns tonight for Connor McQuillan. 1 touchdown for Dylan McLean. Makes it 26-6. And Lansing is feeling it here in the late stages of the third quarter. Now they're going to go for 2. A little pitch out to the end zone. Did he catch it? Did he catch it?
What a play by Lansing. They just took the snap and threw it up to him. He went up for it, came down 2 feet inbounds. Referee's calling it a touchdown. It's a 2-point conversion there for Lansing.
28-6 on the 2-point conversion, and they had everybody student body right hanging out in the near side.
I think it's safe to say Leavenworth did not see that coming.
No, they did not. 28-6 your score. They need to put one more point up on the scoreboard for Lansing. And I tell you what, Lansing, ever since that unfortunate injury to Jahan Bird, they traded touchdowns, and then Lansing, right after the interception, was able to cash it in 2 plays. And they've scored very, very quickly in this quarter as well.
These big plays are just killing the Leavenworth defense. McKinley looks to get a better drive going this time around with an interception in the last drive.
That's going to be a wobbly kick down at the 34-yard line. And Leavenworth was, well, I'll tell you what, they're down now almost 3 scores, and they have got some work to do. Down 12. Sorry, down 22. I can count. Math has never been really my strong suit, but 28-6. Your score, the Lions over the Pioneers, and it has been all Lansing in the second half, save a 6-yard touchdown run by Keenan Brown. Brown in the backfield now. He'll get the handoff up the middle, takes a juke move to the left side, breaks free across midfield to the near side across the 45. Still on his feet, down to the 39-yard line.
A couple of powerful stiff arms there by Keenan
Brown. And Lansing is going to get flagged for some extracurricular after the play, so tack 15 onto that. And Mark Luttrell, the head coach, is absolutely livid with what happened at the end of that play. So they're going to take 15 more off of the huge run by Keenan Brown, and that's really all you need to pull yourself back into this thing.
It's exactly what Leavenworth needed.
And, after your star running back goes down, you certainly don't know the circumstances of it, but anything by Lansing, Lansing's going to have to be real careful because you don't want to even have the perception of problems like that. And certainly Coach Mark Luttrell was trying to send a very clear message from the sidelines after that play.
Haven't seen too many flags here tonight. And the Lansing defense definitely does not want to start now.
So they just tossed. Looks like they just tossed Dylan McClain, who has been all over the game. No. McClain's still on the field. And they're trying to figure out who they just tossed.
I'm not sure they know who they just tossed.
McClain and Malachi Tinnell are both in a conversation with the referees on who got tossed. And to make it even worse, that run is going to be negated because there was a holding penalty on Leavenworth. They will get the 15 yards. I'm still trying to see who got dumped. McClain is still on the field. And no, McClain is not on the field. He is not happy. He is walking off the field. So senior Dylan McClain looks to have been ejected from this ball game, and he is going to have to take his gear and head to the sideline. So, my goodness, there's a whole lot going on there. Call it a 15-yard advance for Leavenworth, but it could have been about a 60-yard advance on the run by Keenan Brown, and that's actually not a great series for Leavenworth with that holding penalty. It completely negated the fouls.
Just first down at 5 here.
Up the middle goes Brown again. He's been running the ball well since becoming the man in the backfield after the injury to Jahan Bird. So first down, 3:30 left to go, 28-6. Lansing over Leavenworth, but Leavenworth trying desperately to stay in this ball game. And you kind of get a sense here with a whole quarter left to go, but boy, any sort of critical mistake, a turnover, a fumble, missing a third down, that could be catastrophic for Leavenworth right here. Brown, drugged down from behind by Brett Pine, the senior, 5'11", 195-pound linebacker, and he just absolutely had penetration and was able to catch the sophomore running back from behind, stopping he didn't have anybody in front of him, so it was, call it a 2-yard gain. It could have been a much greater gain, and this continues to be just this Lansing defense just continues to just be everything for the team right now.
Pine was able to break through the line of scrimmage there and grab Brown from behind and stop him for just a 2-yard gain.
Now back to pass. McKinley going for it all. Contact. Flag. And they are going to throw a flag and a hat, and I think there might be a shoe on the field. So certainly going to be defensive pass interference on Lansing. And you kind of get a sense that the momentum is starting to shift a little bit. I mean, you just had 2 quick scores by Lansing, so it's hard to say that. But Leavenworth is really trying to stay in it. So that'll be a big penalty. They will place the ball. The referee's going to count it off. They'll place it about the 35-yard line. Call it the 38. First and again for the Pioneers. And the clock will stop at 2:23 in the third quarter. And they'll call a timeout. We'll take it with them here on 810varsity.com. We've got kind of a wild one building, 28-6. Into the third quarter. We'll be right back on 810varsity.com.
Need storage space? Need to rent a U-Haul truck? The Storage Box is the answer. From storage services to truck renting to packing supplies, Storage Box has been providing exceptional service for more than 35 years with 3 locations, and they also ship packages all over the country at the Leavenworth Shipping Depot. Visit storageboxinc.com or call today 913-727-1236. That's 727-1236.
For insurance and investment needs, Lansing looks to Dan Wilcott of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Stop by anytime at 611 Holiday Plaza or call 913-727-3213. That's 913-727-3213. Or visit danwilcott.fbfs.
Pioneer Stadium, 2:23 to go in the third quarter of play. Leavenworth trying to pull their way back into this one, down 28-6, and it is 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. Pitch off to the right side, Brown across the 40, now picked up and slammed to the ground right at the line of scrimmage. Keenan Brown. 2nd and 10. Brown had some lanes. He kind of lacks that burst of speed that Jahan Bird has, but that's a pretty special burst of speed anyway. So not a knock on Keenan Brown, but he was met at the line of scrimmage, and we'll try it again at 2nd down, 2nd and 10. Brown in the backfield, one to the left side, one to the right side. Going to give it to Brown. Brown runs into his fullback, Seth Drennan.
Flag on the play.
Flag comes in at the end. Drennan was playing lead blocker, and
they're going to get Leavenworth with a holding penalty here.
Brown ran kind of right up his back, and now they're going to get 10 back, get pushed back 10 yards. So it'll be 2nd and about 19.
It's never good when you run into your own player in the backfield along with a holding penalty.
Yeah, and some laundry comes out on the field, so that's not great.
Long 2nd down here. Going to be about 2nd and 20.
Yeah, 2nd 20, 2nd 19, somewhere in there. 2nd and a mile, 1:25 left to go, 16 seconds on the play clock.
Be interesting to see if Leavenworth starts airing it out.
At some point, they're going to have to take to the air, and this looks like they've got a formation. Trips to the right side. Now scrambling out of the backfield. A guy, man, across the middle. Devin Whitworth. Still shy of the 1st down, but it'll make it a 3rd and manageable. 3rd and about 3 on the 16-yard pass to Whitworth.
Very manageable 3rd down here. Great pass by McKinley. And a good catch there by Devin Whitworth.
Brown now, pistol formation, 2 to the left side, 2 to the right side. Passing formation. Scrambling to his right is McKinley. McKinley going to launch it on the run. Intended for Nathan Waugh. And he skips it across the ground. So 4th down, I mean, your back's kind of against the wall. So you're going to have 4th and 3, 4th and 4. Offense is going to stay on the field. And Leavenworth's going to talk about it. They've got kind of reached a critical juncture here. 24 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. We're going to step away. 810varsity.com coverage. Lansing and Leavenworth. Lansing up 22.
Core Civic is proud to support Lansing Athletics. Core Civic is America's leader.
Citizens Savings and Loan provides full-service banking, including checking, savings, CDs, IRAs, credit cards for personal and business needs, wealth management services, and internet banking. Stop by anytime or Visit us online 24/7 at citizensfsb.com. Citizens Savings and Loan, member FDIC. All right, back live now. 24 seconds to go in the third quarter. Lansing 28, Leavenworth 6. But a lot of storylines in this one, but the significant one has been the Lansing defense. And on fourth down, they are going to intercept the ball.
Good old-fashioned tip drill. Looks like they will
call it intercepted.
Yep, he got it.
I mean, almost drop it because you get 20 yards if you drop it on turnover on downs. But
big play, big stop by the Lansing defense. That's what we've been seeing all night from them.
Tremat Pledger on the interception, and they will take over at the 17-yard line. And that is a buster for Leavenworth on their homecoming night.
Just 17 seconds here left in the third quarter.
And if the crowd wasn't grumbling before, they have started to grumble, and a couple of them have headed for the exit. So we're going to have to see what happens. 28-6, 17 seconds to go in the quarter. Still a whole quarter of football to play. They're in the wing T offense, and they are going to hand it to the up back. He'll get nowhere. That looks like McQuillan. McQuillan on the day, 3 touchdowns. Over 100 yards. Longest touchdown was for 58 yards. It'll be second and long, second and probably 13. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. We'll switch sides. We'll head right back after 30 seconds on 810varsity.com. Welcome back to A10Varsity.com. Lansing 28, Leavenworth 6. 12 minutes remain in this ball game, fourth quarter action. Lansing jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and that was your score at halftime, 14-0. Lansing then got another score. Actually, no, Leavenworth drove the length of the field only to have their junior running back, leading rusher, Jahan Bird, injured at the 6-yard line after a long delay involving an ambulance and emergency personnel. They were finally able to punch it in to the end zone on a Keenan Brown 6-yard touchdown, but then Lansing has put up 14 unanswered points and now leads 28-6. So Lansing with the ball again. They are looking for more. Derek Robinson, who also has a 70-yard long burner to set up a touchdown. That's him on the carry. They bring up 3rd and 5. And they are looking to get as much time sucked off of that clock as possible. And that's where the wing T can also help, because you are going to keep that clock moving.
Got a 3rd down here for the Leavenworth defense. They come up with a stop here.
Hand off to McQuillan. McQuillan still on his feet. Across the middle. One man to beat. 40, 30, 20, 10-5 touchdown. Connor McQuillan with his 4th touchdown of the day.
Excellent cutback there on the play. He found his hole.
78-yard touchdown for the senior, Connor McQuillan.
Pioneer defense overplayed it a little bit, and McQuillan made him pay. (34-6), pending the extra point. See if they try any more shenanigans after that 2-point conversion. And they'll line up in a traditional PAT. Robinson, the holder.
Plessel, the kicker. Kick is up. And kick looks to be good. Add another one on for Lansing as they have now opened it up against Leavenworth 35-6 with just under 12 minutes to go in the game. A 78-yard touchdown for Connor McQuillan, his 4th of the day. Three unanswered scores in the second half for Lansing, and that has been one of multiple storylines, but certainly the ones that slam in the door on Leavenworth on their homecoming night. We'll have Plessel with the kick. On his feet down at about the 34-yard line in Leavenworth. Certainly in a spot where they're going to have to air it out or punch up something.
They're going to need to find something that works, or this game is going to stay where it's at.
The Lansing crowd has begun the singing, which certainly can't play into Leavenworth's fan base very well. There's a pass, far side. Still on his feet, nice little juke move there.
Looked like the corner thought he was going out of bounds. He was able to cut back, and looks like he picked up the first down.
The third,
it's going to be just short.
Yeah, it's going to be just short, so it'll be second and short. And now we're going to see the passing game for the Pioneers. McKinley back, quick outlet to the far side.
What a catch and run there.
Truck stick by Javon. Second consecutive catch and kind of the second little move, except he actually put a little mustard on that one at the end.
A rare play there from the Lansing defense, not wrapping up. And this Leavenworth offense with 2 good completions in a row.
Moving the ball now inside Lion territory at the 45. Going to be a handoff to Brown. Brown up the middle. And, you have some success running the ball. They thought they could maybe put it on the ground again. It looks like they're going to have to go up top one more time at least to kind of get down into the red zone.
Leavenworth offensive line is just getting no push. Their defensive line of Lansing is meeting Keenan Brown in the backfield. They will look to air it out.
2 wide receivers to the left side, 2 to the right side. He's going to go to the right side and overthrow his intended receiver. That was Nathan Waugh. And it'll bring up a long third down. So a big play here with under 10 to go in the ball game.
Waugh seemed to be open there. He just had the ball was just overthrown. Would have been a possible 3rd and short if he was able to complete that, but here we are, and it's going to be 3rd and 9 for the Pioneers.
Going to line up with trips to the right side. Three wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left side. 4-step drop, now rolling to the right. Pump fake, now he's going to tuck it and run. And he will be stopped well short of the first down. It looked like the first to contact might have been, let's go with number 4, Jordan Bridgette, who really put a stop on him. And, of course, we're in 4-down territory now. 4th and 3. 4th and 4. And remaining hopes for Leavenworth are dwindling. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Brown. Now deep ball. Crossed the middle. Completely had Devin Whitworth open and overthrew him. So it's going to be a turnover on downs, as Whitworth certainly ran the right route. He was trying to split the safeties, and he was able to run right through the middle of them, but just overthrown. It'll be a turnover on downs, 35-6. Lansing looking to take the air out of the ball here in the remaining 9 minutes and 7 seconds. Hand off to the right side. That is Robinson on the wing tee.
Number 75, Austin Schofner in on the tackle there.
Through the middle. Clock continues to run. Schneider with the carry there. Gets 5 yards.
Started with a good fake there and able to pick up a solid 5-yard gain, make this 3rd down much more manageable. Lansing really taking their time in here in between plays, huddling up each time, letting this clock run.
7:35 now. Handoff up the middle. McQuillan.
It's going to bring up 4th down.
4th and short. Looks like they'll probably punt it away. Although the offense is kind of on the field, and here comes the punt unit.
No movement at first. Coaching staff of Lansing taking a sec to think about this one, but punting away.
Not much of a hurry. And the only thing is that their punter got ejected in the 3rd quarter. Dylan McLean's their punter. So they're going to go to Connor McQuillan, who's their backup punter, and they're going to call a timeout and think about it. I'm not sure that was really on the mind of Dylan Brown, the head coach. Their punter got run after some extracurricular activity in the 3rd quarter. Let's take a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back on 810varsity.com.
Core Civic is proud to support Lansing Athletics. Core Civic is America's leader in partnership corrections, operating over 60 facilities in nearly half of all states. Learn more about Core Civic job opportunities at corecivic.com. You can apply for a rewarding position as a correctional officer, a nurse, or a school teacher, just to name a few. Your next career could be in corrections with Core Civic. Visit corecivic.com. That's corecivic.com.
Pioneer Stadium, 35-6, Lansing all over Leavenworth. It's been a good game. It's been really close. Kind of a good defensive struggle, and they're going to call something. Too many men in the huddle, maybe? I don't know. They're going to move them back.
Illegal substitution.
Yeah. Okay, well,
called against Lansing.
5 more yards. And it'll be 4th and many, many more now. But backup punter, it's going to be Connor McQuillan after Dylan McLean was ejected in the third quarter on defense. McQuillan. Look out, that about took somebody's head off.
Low line drive kick, but it goes a good distance.
Nice stick to the 28-yard line.
Return
My
team
goodness.
of Lansing is able to stop him right where he catches it.
That was Nick Hoschauer. Stops Leavenworth with 6:50 to go. Leavenworth trailing by a bunch, 35-6. Lansing D was really the story of the first half. They were able to stop two Leavenworth drives inside the 10 early on in the ball game, and they were able to pick up two touchdowns of their own, both by Connor McQuillan, the senior, one of 36 and one of 58. Leavenworth opened the second half trailing 14-0 with a wonderful drive, about a 70-yard drive that ended up converting for their first touchdown of the game, but was marred by the injury to their junior running back.
A high arcing pass here from McKinney
to Robinson.
McKinley, and drops it in for a big gain.
Big play by Robinson. He's their dual. He's their rusher and a receiver. He had a 70-yard run earlier. Now he picked up about a 30-yard reception there. So Leavenworth still kicking, trying to pull back into this one. Now they're going to have to take to the air. Rushed pass, and he is flattened by one of the linebackers for Leavenworth. 74, Connor Baker, man, just absolutely leveled McKinley.
McKinley had to get it out of his hands quick there, which forced the high throw. He had man open, but no chance for a completion there.
Three wide receivers to the left, one to the right side. Brown in the backfield. Two-step drop now. Bad route, almost intercepted, but they're going to call it down. And the timing just wasn't right on that one. They had the two guys where they needed to be. It's just McKinley was rushed and couldn't get it there. So 3rd and 10.
Another dangerous pass by McKinley. Trey Matt Pledger diving in. Looks like he almost was able to make the interception there, which would have been McKinley's second of the night, second of the second half even.
So the opening drive of the second half, they're down 14-0. They end up converting for a touchdown, but lost their junior running back, Jahan Bird, who had 6 touchdowns last week. Lost him at the 6-yard line. There's a nice pass, trying to get a first down, and they do. Nathan Waugh with the reception. He could pass the sticks, past the 40.
Just a simple little
37.
8-yard in, able to hit his receiver, break a couple tackles for a solid game.
They're going to move the sticks and start the clock. 6:17 left to go in the ball game. Clock is winding. McKinley thrown very well this series, but he's been throwing with his back against the wall. They have no choice but to put it up in the air.
He hasn't had much time there back in the pocket.
Lost your running back and just got to air it out. 3-step drop, pump fake. Fake and go. He's got a man open in stride. Javon DeFard. 37-yard touchdown. And a perfect pump fake by McKinley opens it up for DeFard for 6 more for Leavenworth, and they'll probably go for 2 here.
That pass was on the money by McKinley. Hit him in stride, right in the breadbasket, and he walks in for 6.
Absolutely his best pass of the day. And their second score of the night. And they're going to try to go for 2 here. McKinley under center. Brown in the backfield. Brown will get the pitch. Tries to cut the corner and slips and falls. And no two-point conversion. So the score will remain 35-12. Twist that one. Loosen it and kind of. $35-12 your score, 5:50 to go. Leavenworth not saying die yet. You get a onside kick or a fumble or something, you're right back in this ball game.
Something we haven't seen yet here today is a big play in the passing game. McKinley with a wonderful throw, and it's keeping things interesting here in the fourth quarter.
Now Lansing's job will be to sit on the football and run as much clock out as possible. And it looks like they're lining up for an onside kick. And we will see what happens here. Betancourt, onside kick. Past the line, but it's going to be recovered at the 45, and they're going to run it all the way in for a touchdown. Malik Benson takes it at the 45 and runs it 55 yards on the kick return.
It's about the last thing you would want on an offensive side kick. Or onside kick, excuse me.
And you work so hard to get right back into this thing, and it's 41-12. And they're going to line up for the PAT to try to make it 42 and go up 30. Really a story of one step forward and two steps back for Leavenworth. Every time they do something great, they look up and it's countered by Lansing. Kick is up, and it is good. And we put one more on the board for Lansing, 42-12. Under 6 to go in the ball game. Let's step aside, 30 seconds, 810varsity.com.
Exchange Bank and Trust has been a proud supporter of area high school athletics since 1856. With locations in Leavenworth, Lansing, and throughout Northeast Kansas, plus online banking for local and military at myexchangebank.com. That's myexchangebank.com. Exchange Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
$42-12 your score, 5:43 left. Every time Leavenworth has tried to get something done, Lansing comes back incredibly quickly. That time on an onside kick return by Malik Benson for their 6th touchdown of the game. Four touchdowns on the day for Connor McQuillan. 1 touchdown for Dylan McLean, who was ejected in the third quarter. And 1 touchdown right just now by Malik Benson on special teams. So 42-12 your score. Leavenworth held scoreless in the first half. Scores to open the second half, loses their junior leading rusher, and was simply unable to kind of get a foothold and climb back into this thing after such an emotional loss. And credit Lansing. Outstanding defense tonight. Outstanding offense tonight. And sprinkle in a little special teams for 6. Long pass play here across the middle. It's going to be picked off again. And is that
Excellent coverage on the play. We've called his name a few times
Pledger?
tonight.
Tremat Pledger on the INT.
Almost had one last time on defense. Able to get one here.
And if it wasn't over before, it's pretty much all academic at this point. 42-12.
Luke Schneider will lead his team out there.
McQuillan in, high snap. McQuillan with the handoff.
It's a tough run.
Wow, 7 yards. My goodness. He's still out there working. I mean, these two are bitter rivals. They've got quite a history. They're neighboring towns.
Absolutely no quit here in the Lansing Lions.
First team still on the field. Embarrassed to open the season last year and certainly wanted to stick it to Leavenworth on their homecoming on their turf. Lansing taking their time in the huddle. 9 seconds in the play clock.
Approaching under 5 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
Hand off to Robinson. Robinson near the first down. Looks like he's got it. And counting down the final minutes of this one. 6 seconds on the play clock. Another wing tee. Good handoff. 4 yards there. 3 yards.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 7. Lansing with the ball on Leavenworth's 46-yard line.
Second and 7. Handoff, Robinson. Robinson's got open room. Across the 20, across the 10. 5. Touchdown. Derek Robinson, the second, with his first touchdown of the day. A 46-yard run.
What speed around the corner, able to outrun a Pioneer and get to the end zone.
48-12.
This Lansing offense has been able to find holes and hit it hard all game.
Plessel for the PAT. Kick up, and looks like it's good. 49-12 your score. What a game by Lansing. They only won their first game by 1 over Basehor Linwood, 14-13, and they have just laid the wood to Leavenworth tonight, 49-12. And it'll certainly be a good night on the way back to Lansing tonight. Credit Dylan Brown, his first-year head coach, absolutely has been able to put together mostly through his defense, allowing the offense to really run ripshod. Dylan McLean and Tremat Pledger with an INT.
Squibble kick, and he'll just fall on it. That is number 86, Jeremiah Waltower, able to fall on the kick.
And Leavenworth's not going to just lay down and let those last 4 minutes run off the clock. They're still in it. But pretty much academic at this point in time.
Passing game was able to find some rhythm on their last drive.
Yeah, they were.
Expect McKinley to just keep airing that ball out.
It's a handoff. Nice little run there by Keenan Brown. But he stays in bounds. No, he got out of bounds. Yep, no, he stays in bounds. 3:22 left to go. Now it looks like Leavenworth is fine with letting some of that time leak off the clock. Another handoff to Brown. Brown cuts the corner across midfield for a first down.
Lowers his shoulder.
Seth Drennan, the 5'9", 170 senior. He had 2 touchdowns on the season. Scoreless tonight. So 1st and 10. Under 3 to go. Leavenworth trying to get one more on the board. Drennan now. Across the 45. Cuts the corner. Leaps over a defender. And is down at the 35-yard line. Stays in bounds. Clock continues to run.
Leavenworth still running the ball hard. They're definitely trying to get back in the end zone before this time runs out.
Handoff.
Looks like
Brennan
it may have been
got some room to run. Still on his feet. Down to the 15.
Incredible run. Looks like he could have been tackled in the backfield, but he breaks those tackles and gains much more.
And quite honestly, it's a race to see who's going to take over for the injured Jahan Bird, whether it's going to be Keenan Brown or Seth Drennan. And both of these guys have kind of put up some pretty fancy runs in the second half after Bird got hurt. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Lansing trying to poke it in one more time. Drennan, space to run, still on his feet, and ball popped out.
No signal from the referees yet.
They're going to call it down at the 1. Looked like there was a fumble at the end of that play for Drennan, but they'll call it at the 1 millimeter line. McKinley in the backfield. Drennan, 3 wide to the left side, 1 to the right side. All they need's an inch. Give it to Drennan. And Drennan's able to poke it in. Make it 49-18. Under 130, under 140 to go. A 1-yard touchdown run by Seth Drennan. And they'll line up for the PAT. Kick is up, and that one's good. So 49-19, 30-yard deficit. For Lansing over Leavenworth with a minute and a half to go. Tune in to 810varsity.com. Or tune in to Sports Radio 810, WHB, for the high school postgame show. They'll give you recaps of Bishop Miege at Rockhurst, recaps of the EKL, recaps of Missouri football today and yesterday. Aquinas won yesterday. They won big.
Tank Young, the first running back over 1,000 yards in Kansas, as just a sophomore, playing in only 5 games so far. Pretty
Gracious.
remarkable.
We'll try to kick this one deep and hope they get a fumble out of it. Pick that one up, young man. They'll run and they'll slide down, and looks like Leavenworth and Lansing. Lansing will line up for victory formations. Leavenworth still got 2 timeouts, although I'm going to bet you that they will take them into the locker room after the ball game with them. I think the rest of this one is academic. Well, Drake Watkins, thank you very much for your work tonight. Great job.
It was fun, Chris.
My very tricky tripod and our lights shining behind us. I think you made the best of a bad situation. So
Definitely. Just a beautiful night for football here tonight.
very cool. Going to wing tee it again. Just start the clock one more time. See what Leavenworth does. If Leavenworth will stop the clock, I can't imagine that they will.
No movement on the sideline there for Leavenworth. I think they're just going to let this clock run.
Leavenworth will fall to 1-4 on the season. They were 3-6 last year. Lansing will improve to 2-3. They were 2-7 on the year last year. And head coach Dylan Brown will notch his second victory of the season and spoil an otherwise pretty fun homecoming day for Leavenworth High School. And we certainly send our thoughts out to running back Jahan Bird, who was taken off in the third quarter. And as we get more information, tune into 810 Sports Radio. They'll report anything on him and the great media up here that tracks the game. Final play of the ball game here. 49-19 will be your final. Lansing will defeat Leavenworth. They'll improve to 2-3. It's been fun bringing it to you. And they will victory formation this one up on third down. And that is your final, 49-19 from Pioneer Stadium. On behalf of Drake Watkins, I'm Chris Kamler for 810varsity.com. We wish you, each and every one of you, a pleasant good evening. Drive safe. And we'll see you next week for Friday Night Lights on 810varsity.com.